Spoke to you both in the dressing room. Obey my command at all times. You both know the rules. Watch the heads, keep the punches up. And when I shout break, you break clean. And remember, defend yourselves at all times. Shake hands.
Second down, first round.
So here we go. This is a big step up for Ben Hall, 23 years old. All wins and one draw in his career so far. Carson Jones, 30 from Oklahoma. We've seen him on numerous occasions. Twice with Kell Brook, twice with Brian Rose, and he took Kell Brook into deep, deep water on that first meeting between the two. I remember in the second half of the fight watching Brook gulping down air and blood as Jones set about him. I spoke to him at the press conference on Thursday, Carson Jones, and he said that when he got the call for this, he was back in the gym, he was back on the weight, he was ready, and that he was looking forward to getting over here and teaching Ben Hall a bit of a lesson. Question is, chaps, how is this going to turn out? Will he be able to do that?
I think it's very important that Ben gets off to a good start. You know, he's obviously stepping up in levels massively, and he needs to get into a good start, get comfortable in the fight, and be comfortable being in there with somebody like Carson Jones. Not buy into what he saw with Carson Jones at the end of the first Kell Brook fight.
I think you cannot let Carson Jones get into a rhythm. It's important that Ben Hall has a good start. He needs to get working straight away. He needs to get behind that jab and demand some respect. Because if you let Carson Jones get into a rhythm, as we've seen against Kell Brook, Brian Rose, he can become a nightmare.
Of course, he stopped Brian Rose very early. Rose was far from happy with it in their first meeting. He's had a bit of a frustrating year, Ben Hall, because he picked up the Southern Area title against Chris Agedua back in January. He was then supposed to meet Sonny Upton for the English title. Twice went to purse bids, twice didn't happen. So now he's headed down a different avenue. And with this international silver WBC belt would come some recognition, of course, and a ranking. And that's what counts. You need to have as many roads open to you as you can, because if you look to go just down one, in boxing you can often find it blocked. Jones there with the jabs.
That's a very key weapon tonight for Jones. He needs to establish that jab. He needs to keep Carson Jones at range with the jab. He doesn't want to get into a fight. He doesn't want to be close quarters here, especially early doors.
Looking for the uppercut there, Hall. Didn't quite get through. Just ricocheted off the forearm of Jones.
To get back on the jab now. It's not a bad start from Ben Hall, though. I think, you know, the Carson Jones fight has been knocking around for a while, so they fancy the win here.
You're right, they've been talking about it since the start of the year. Peter Sims kind of postponed it a bit. He felt that he wasn't ready January time. He was looking at Brian Rose maybe, but when it came up just recently from Eddie Hearn, they took it in a flash. Carson Jones staying on his feet in between rounds. He's been training with Abel Sanchez at the Summit Gym for a good while now. Here's some action from that opening round.
I think Ben got off to a good start. You know, he boxed nice and comfortably, setting up with some good shots. But the only thing is, Jones got a little bit close, and he did land a few big shots, which you don't want to let him get comfortable in the fight. You don't want to let Jones have any success at all.
Hall again looking to pop out that jab. The one blemish on his record, that draw came against Ryan Toms on January the 31st, 2015. And he made some changes after that. He felt that his stamina let him down. He felt that his mental approach wasn't quite right as well. So he brought in a performance coach, a strength and conditioning coach, looked more at diet, more at nutrition.
Jones has come out with a lot of purpose in this round. You can see in the first round he's had a little bit of a look at him. Now, towards the end of the first round, he caught with some good shots. He's gone back to corner, so this kid, he's got nothing in front of me. So he's really put the foot on the pedal on this round.
I think he's probably felt the power that Hall has. And thought, you know, it's not going to trouble me at all. And you can see him, like you say, he really is looking forward now with purpose.
Cuffing right hand there from Hall as Jones looks to try and double up on the jab, looking to try and batter away to the body with that right hand there, Carson Jones. Jabbing to the chest, nice uppercut there from Hall, caught him on the way in.
Ben Hall does not want his back on the ropes.
No.
He's got to try and get as near as the centre of the ring as he can. Because this will allow Carson Jones to get into a rhythm, and that's when he's extremely dangerous.
See, what Jones has got to do as well is got to keep composed. You can't... He's going to feel that pressure that Jones is putting on him, but he can't let himself feel the pressure, if you know what I mean. He can't let himself take himself out of his own game plan and throw shots when he shouldn't be throwing.
Good right hand.
Well, looking for the right hand to the body. He's been scheduled for 10 twice, Ben Hall, yet to go the distance furthest he's been is 7. Jones has been scheduled for this distance 9 times and has done it on 5 occasions, as well as 12 rounds also.
Remember, there's a couple of good counters there, Ben Hall. Found the opening. I think he's got to trigger him off a little bit more. Try and feint, stick the jab out a bit more, and I think he would have more success. Find the openings a bit easier.
Blood coming from the nose of Ben Hall. Jones looked to try and work to the body, then throw the uppercut. Jones and Hall trading at close quarters, and he's just backing Hall up to the ropes there a little bit.
The problem is, this is Carson Jones' type of fight. He's dragged him into a fight already, and Ben's having to work really hard in order just to stay in the fight.
Nice right hand there from Hall. Set himself well for that one, but Jones again just comes moving forward, rolling forward. Closing stages of the second round. Some pretty stern words, actually, from Peter Sims in the corner there to Ben Hall, telling him that he's loading up on everything, and if he does that, he will gas.
Yeah, and he's 100% right. He's seen the shift in the first round. He's quite loose, quite comfortable. That round, he had to fight really hard to stay in there because every shot he was throwing was a bomb. He felt, because Jones is putting it on him, he's feeling as though he's got to hit him hard to keep him off. But that's what Jones wants him to do.
Jones with the jab early on, and again just looks to try and push Hall back towards the ropes. He had to strip to make the weight yesterday, Ben Hall. Carson Jones dipped under it by a couple of pounds.
See the experience there from Jones, just edging forward, making Hall retreat before he knows that he's got his back on the ropes. He's got to get behind his jab, hold the centre of the ring, stay there now, and let the shots go. Body head.
There's a good couple of jabs there from Hall, just as you said that, Darren. A couple of nice single jabs with some meat behind them.
I expect to see Carson Jones start throwing in more left hooks downstairs when he gets up close. That's a good uppercut.
Good right uppercut from Jones there.
Rocked the head back there of Hall, who just looked to try and grab hold of him if he could. Good jab there again from Jones, and blood coming from the nose once more of Hall, who's trying to just move away to his left-hand side. Carson Jones is cutting the ring off well on him, which you'd expect of somebody of his experience.
He's really coming forward here.
Oh, shot! Well, Hall caught Jones there, but then Jones throwing the left hand missed and staggered away to the right-hand side, which maybe exaggerated the effect of the punch from Hall. But Hall feels that he's got his man hurt here. Just missed with a big overhand right. Jones with those gloves low, looking to try and roll the shoulders. Another good right hand again there, chopping down again with that right by Hall. Then just backs off a little bit.
That's just blocked again.
Uppercut gets through there from Hall.
He's got to be smart in what he's throwing. He can't just unload and throw everything at him and miss and have shots blocked, because otherwise he's going to gas himself. Jones has been here before. He's been hurt before in his career. He knows what to do. He knows to tuck up and just to ride it out, get his legs back, and then he'll go back to work.
Nice right hand there from Hall, but then he rather stayed where he was and just caught a jab straight down the middle from Carson Jones. Final minute of round 3. It's been an interesting, entertaining fight already, this one.
See, here he goes. He's got his legs back. He's going back.
It can be so disheartening.
And a good body shot again.
For a fighter, when you really hurt someone, and then seconds later, you know, you're back on the back foot.
Well, that looked a bit low.
That
looked a bit low to me from Ben Hall, but as you say, off the back of it, a decent uppercut. He's looking for that right to the body, Jones. Right to the body, right uppercut sometimes.
What I think he's doing is he's setting up with that right up to body. He's going to keep throwing the right up to body, and then later on, he'll switch it with the left up underneath.
Good finishing around here from Carson Jones, right above us, and Ben Hall is just trying to hold on a little bit. His legs look a bit unsteady, looks to try and whip that uppercut up the middle. Final few seconds of the round, and this is a draining round for both of these two. They heave the breath in as they head back to their respective corners. Good finish there from Carson Jones.
See, this is what I'm saying about Carson Jones. He's been there, done that.
And there was Hall just wanting to hang on a little bit as some of those got through from Jones. That, we thought, was where Hall caught him and maybe hurt him a little bit.
Yeah. He's been hurt before in his career. You know, he knows just to take a breather, let his legs get back, tuck up, don't get hit with something big again. Let yourself come through. While Jones is wailing away, throwing bombs at him, he's just tucking up. And as we saw at the end of the round, Jones put it back on him.
Hall trying to mix fire with fire a bit too much.
Yeah.
Second down, round 4.
Well, into the fourth is for the vacant WBC International silver title in the super welterweight division. Ben Hall on the left of your screen there in the silver and black. Carson Jones, the experienced campaigner, in the black. And he felt when I spoke to him on Thursday that Hall had never been in with anybody like him. He's right about that, and that he would be able to bring that experience to bear, and this would be a rude awakening
Jones
for a man from Chadwell Heath.
Jones has put that gap right down straight away, right at the beginning of the round.
A good counter by Hall.
Well, Peter Sims between rounds is wanting him to move his feet, to use his boxing skills. Jones threw the uppercut right up the middle. He was a bit open there, Jones, and Hall caught him with a left hand. Looking for that right to the body again there, then finishes on the right to the head.
I think, you know, on the fourth round of a fight like this, you don't want to have your backs on the back on the rope. You don't want to be moving around so much. If anything, you want to be in the centre of the ring, using your angles. Almost imagine there's a smaller ring within the ring and work from that. Because he's allowing Carson Jones to get into a rhythm here, and this could be dangerous.
Jones just trying to throw Hall off towards the ropes. He does so, and then lets his hands go right to the head. Hall had just landed a good right to the body himself, but again he finds himself backed into a corner, his own corner this time. He's feeling that rope on his back, on the back of his calf, far too often here, Ben Hall, just trying to shake out his hands, but there is no respite from Carson Jones. He was digging to the body. Hall threw a right hand in the middle of it.
Here, Ben Hall. I think he's hurt his hand with his arm. He seems to be complaining there, shaking his arm out, grimacing slightly.
You can see with his legs where he's getting hit now. His legs are getting tired.
Well, he wins.
These are great body shots from Jones.
Jones connecting with that right hand, and as he threw his right hand before that, about 20 seconds ago, Hall, you could see the expression on his face, so I think you're right. I think there is something wrong. It's just a question of exactly what it is, whether it's that right hand or the right arm. He looks to explode into the left hook, and he's trading again, and he's hurt there. Hall is hurt there by Jones, and Jones can smell it, he can sense it, he can feel it as he pours the pressure on in the corner. He's looking for the uppercut, he's looking to finish this. Ian John Lewis is having a close look. Hall managed to grab hold there into the last 30 seconds of the round. Fires back with a left hand there, Hall, and maybe Jones is just beginning to run out of gas towards the end of the round. Hall will have to hope so. He desperately needs that bell. Jones looking for the uppercut. Good right hand from Hall, but he immediately just screams in pain almost. There is something wrong, as you noticed, Dave, and he'll do well to get to the end of this round, but you've got to wonder really where he goes from here, if he can do. Right hand, he's gettering to the corner, right hand, and there is a big problem there. What will Peter Sims say to him?
No, Scoochie. No, Scoochie, come in here now. Head back. Get on with it. Head back. Right?
Tough love.
Don't shield. Fuck's sake.
Apologies for the language there from Peter Sims, but this is the eye of the storm.
Your hand, have you hurt your hand? No. You okay? Yeah. I'll let you go. Right. Get in there. I'll stop it, you understand me? Pull him out. Yeah, pull him out. Carry down. Pull him out. Hey, one more, give him one more.
Well, Peter Sims asking for one more round in conversation with Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn is telling him to pull him out. Peter Sims wants one more round for his man there. It was tough love from the trainer in the corner. He told him to ignore it, to get on with it. And I was going to ask you, Dave, you've been in the corner, you have as well, Darren. Difficult decision.
Regardless of the hand, that attack that Carson Jones put onto Ben Hall there, it took everything out of him, took all the fire out of him. The body shots he was slinging in when he got him clenched to the ropes, that was a tough round. I don't think he's got anything left. I don't think he's got much left. He's just got a little bit of heart now. He's going to give it everything he's got.
Yeah, he's looking a little bit sorry for himself in the corner there as well. I mean, this is a last-ditch effort now. He's really got to go for it.
Forward the left to the body. Right hand there from Jones. He feels he's got his man where he wants him. Good jab there from Jones. He's not in any great rush here. He'll be aware of the problems that Hall has got. He'll know that he's dominating the fight, but he'll also be aware of the injury.
I thought Carson Jones may have come out a bit quicker this round.
I did.
He's not set the pace how he did in the last round. Not sure if he's tiring himself.
Well, he threw that right hand pretty effectively there, Hall.
Well, he's thrown 2 right hands in this round, and he's not winced at all on it. No. So, you know...
Well, there can be an element of psychology about this sometimes. If the fighter can tell himself that the pain isn't there, then you can get through it. I saw Marco Huck last week against Dimitro Kucha. He did break his hand after about 3 rounds, but he just boxed on with it.
And let's just remember, he's a young kid, he's never been in deep like this before. You know, he's probably never done his hand before in the middle of a hard fight, a proper fight like this. He's having it all tough here, but he's showing a lot of heart, a lot of ball, a lot of battle.
Blood coming from the nose there of Ben Hall. Good right hand.
The grimace there when he threw the right hand. There's good pressure by Carson Jones. I mean, this will really break the heart of Ben Hall.
Short clipping left there from Jones into the final minute of round 5. They're scheduled for 10.
Good body shot from Hall.
He's got to let the jab go there. Stop Carson Jones moving forward. You've got to try and double up the left hook. That's better. Now drop to the body.
Jones being made to miss here.
He's had a much better round this round.
Well, strangely enough, of course, you don't want to injure your hand, but when you have, it makes you take a different approach.
Yeah. You have to do some serious thinking.
He's wincing when he throws that right hand, but there doesn't seem to be the same degree of pain as there was in the previous round when he was throwing it. The trainer straight away just said forget about it. Final few seconds of the round, getting towards the halfway stage. Bell goes, and it's another grueling round as Hall walks over to the corner.
Right, you got your fight. As soon as you got close, hold him, right? You're winning this fight now. Stand, Ben, Steve. You're winning this fight. Ben, you win this fight. Right, we'll beat you one-handed, right? Don't you fucking give up. I'm not giving up. Shut up, right? You can beat this kid easy back.
OK, well, maybe we can identify where the hand went. And I think that was it, possibly.
Almost looks like it was a thumb.
Yeah.
He's hurt his thumb. They can be painful. But I think he needs to put that behind him now and just work off at the left. He threw some nice jabs there, some nice left hooks. I mean, it was a good response.
It was a great response. And the thing he's got to take into account as well is Carson Jones is also going to start feeling the pace because he's putting a lot of effort. He's putting a lot of power punches into this fight so far. So he's going to start feeling tight. So if he can nick a few rounds and get himself into the fight again and have Jones missing, then he's back in there.
really key role for the trainer to play in this as well, Peter Sims, telling his man after that round that he's winning this fight, that he's got this fight, that he can beat him, having come through that round after the damage to the hand, after the deep water he was taken into in the fourth, that he can win this fight. As we said, though, he's yet to go the distance over 10. The furthest he's been is 7. Jones has done it on numerous occasions. But if you can dig deep and get through this kind of fight, it can be huge for your career. Saw Isaac Chamberlain wandering around a little while ago. He did just that against Juan Camacho a few weeks ago.
Jones looks in the night left uppercut there, inside. He don't seem to be letting them go as much. I mean, they seem more like arm punches now from Jones.
He may be spending a couple of rounds just wearing him out before he puts on a full onslaught.
The Hall caught a couple in the corner there, a couple of right hands. He tucked that chin down behind the shoulder, though, so I don't think they got through absolutely clean, and then looked for a left hook himself. Right uppercut there from Hall.
Does it side though, Ben Hall? I know there was issues.
And the shoulder now as well is possibly a problem. And the towel has come in, and the referee jumps in on cue as the towel arrives onto the canvas. Jones screams as he wheels away to his corner, but injury to the shoulder there seems to be the final straw. The trainer just throwing in the towel there, Peter Sims. And a hard night for Ben Hall comes to an end. It looked like he might be able to get through the damage to the hand, but Carson Jones was on him. He put him under pressure, and he brought all that experience to bear. Good sportsmanship between the two at the end of the fight. He was pitched into deep water with Carson Jones, but they felt he was ready. You have to make a judgment call sometimes with a young fighter. People look at it now and say it was too much of a gamble, but people weren't saying that during the week.
I mean, it's hard to gauge as well, because it did hurt his thumb there and his shoulder there. And the Carson Jones name has been flying around the Peter Sims camp for a while, so they fancied it. They fancied the step up, but yeah, obviously a bit too soon.
Yeah, I mean, listen, sometimes you've got to take a leap of faith with your fighters. You know, if the fighter believes he's good enough, if they can't think that they're good enough, sometimes you've got to take that chance, roll that dice. You've just got to watch them carefully as the fight goes on. You know, regardless of the hand, the thumb, and then the shoulder at the end, that was a hard fight for him. That was a really hard fight. And Carson Jones really put it on him. He was digging in those body shots, digging in the shots to the head. He really put a lot of pain onto the kid. And it was a fight that I think, as it was unravelling, it was too soon for him, you know. But you don't know until you try it, and he'll have learned from this. And if you can go back to the drawing board and pick points out of this and the experience, it'll make him a better fighter.
When you watch Carson Jones, you remember what an absolute nightmare he is and what a good fighter he is. Yeah.
The pressure keeps on top here.
Well, that's where the shoulder went, and the year he's had probably hasn't really helped him all that much, Ben Hall. He had a Southern Area fight in January against Chris Aguilar, but after that, just one 4-rounder, so hasn't been all that active. As we see the towel come in there, and Ian John Lewis just hugging the fighter. They're both in the centre of the ring. Let's now go to our MC, Craig Steve.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, referee Ian John Lewis will bring together both boxers. As he does so, please, your appreciation. Both boxers in the ring. The end comes at 1 minute and 13 seconds of round number 6. Ian John Lewis stops the contest. His opinion, Ben Hall in no position to continue. The winner, now the WBC International Silver Super Welterweight Champion from Oklahoma, USA, Mr. Carson Jones.
Well, Spencer, first of all, timing of the stoppage. Peter Sims, did he have any choice but to throw in the towel then?
No, I think that was a perfect stoppage, Ed. I think, you know, from round 3, he seemed to have hurt his hand. And then he started to systematically get beaten up. He was taking a lot of shots, a lot of punishment to the head and the body, and I think Peter Sims timed it perfectly there. I think there was a problem with the shoulder as well. Nothing was going right for Ben Hall. And Carson Jones, we've seen him in the past. We know what he is. We know what he's all about. Comes